Hey, everybody, welcome to the Geek and I podcast. My name is John. On this week's episode, we are talking episode 3 of Star Trek Picard. Special guest in studio, fresh from sailing yonder. How you doing, Bill? Welcome back to Earth.
Live long and prosper. Thanks.
So if you were here the first episode, we found out that Bill was going on the Star Trek cruise, and he had just disembarked. Now, what do they call the ship that it was on? Do they give it a special designation?
I wish they did, but they did not. It was still Navigator of the Seas.
But no registry or...
No, they didn't do a registry or designation.
No, that's cheesy. I guess I don't know.
But on their picture, they did do the cruise ship, and they put some nacelles on the ship.
Oh, nice.
That's cool. Yeah, that's pretty neat. Neat. So tell us about going on the Star Trek cruise. What is that like, and how does that make you feel about a regular cruise from now on?
Oh, I was just talking about that with my wife. A regular cruise compared to a Star Trek themed cruise is really boring now. So on a Star Trek cruise, you're there with all the like-minded people who love Star Trek, and it's like a huge community, and you're always talking Star Trek 24/7. From the time you get in, check in, everything's all decked out in Star Trek. So whether it's the original series, Deep Space Nine, Voyager, it's all over the ship. And at night in your stateroom, there are at least 8 dedicated TV stations showing every single Star Trek episode on all the series.
Nice.
So you can never get tired of Star Trek because, like, oh, it's the animated series. Oh, it's Lower Decks. Oh, it's Discovery. And you're just flipping through.
And that's on in cabin, or like just all, like you go to this bar as Deep Space Nine, and then this food court is Voyager.
Yeah, something like that. But in your room, you're just shown a lot of Star Trek, whether it's the movies, the series, and each night they'll have a movie playing out on the pool deck. So like The Wrath of Khan might be playing, or J.J. Abrams' Star Trek, or the motion picture. We were out there for the motion picture because it wasn't freezing, and we were just all bundled up watching it from outside. But it's kind of cool.
So highly recommend.
Highly recommend. So this is my second Star Trek cruise. It was a makeover from 2020 that we had booked for 2021, and because of the whole COVID situation, we said we'll pass, and then they rescheduled us to this year, 2023.
Well, Bill, I want to ask you a quick question before we get off this topic, because I was very interested in seeing your pictures of that. Like it was like a bar restaurant. Can you tell us a little bit about that? Do you remember those pictures? It had some funky stuff going on.
So they had one place called the Tiki Room, and they had giant tikis of all the different, like a Gorn, or Captain Kirk, or Mr. Spock, and they had, like, just drinks that were specific to Star Trek that you could get. It was kind of cool.
Now, was there one?
There was somewhere you were eating, though. You were eating stuff, like I think seafood.
Oh,
I don't know.
salties.
The picture looked really cool.
Yeah.
There you
go. The original cruise restaurant was called Hooked, but they changed the theme to Salties because the salt monster or salt vampire from the original series, I think, is called the M113 creature. So they made it so that the creature opened up her own seafood restaurant and had pictures all over the restaurant of her.
That was cool, man.
Now,
Cool.
did they have cosplayers dressed as Morn sitting at every bar in the ship?
Not this time. I personally did not see more. They had a bar, an Irish pub was converted into O'Tribbles.
Ah, nice.
Yeah, but it was an Irish pub, and they called it O'Tribbles, and they just had a lot of parties and themes going on and singers, just like you would expect at an Irish pub.
Any
Tribbles?
any celebrity run-ins while you were on board?
You could not. Yeah. There was a lot of run-ins. So you'd always bump into them in the elevator, on deck. I was lounging on the pool side in my banana shirt outfit, and John Delancey came up and said, "That is the perfect look for this cruise." And everyone's very nice. They're very cordial. They ask where you're from sometimes and stuff like that.
Now, your Facebook feed is just littered with birthday messages to folks you've met, I guess, at conventions and things like this. Anybody on here that you were super excited to get a picture with? Did they allow pictures and stuff like that?
So you have to purchase. You can purchase photos and autographs, just like a regular convention. But I wanted to get 3 photos with one was Marina Sirtis, Robert Picardo, and Armin Shimmerman, because I actually did my first acting role with Armin Shimmerman. And it's called The Assassin's Apprentice. So I had to get a really nice photo with my assassin shirt with the 3 of them.
Nice.
Did he remember you?
He kind of was apprentice.
That's cool. That's
Yeah.
That's very cool. Now, when did you get to see episode 3?
So I would say it was the night before. You know what? Since we were in Mexico, I guess it's like 3 hours forward. So it was 11:30 in Puerto Vallarta, which would be, I guess, East Coast the same time. So we got to see it Tuesday night.
Yeah, because here it doesn't, in Texas, it doesn't air until
Thursday.
3
right?
a.m. I think it's 3 a.m. it comes on
Okay.
here in Texas. So
In Mexico,
you got to
it
see it
was
first.
just a little bit early.
Now, what did you think? Let's do
Oh my
let's
God.
do a quick rundown, a non-spoiler rundown. What did you think of the episode? What were the reactions on board?
A lot of oohs and ahs whenever they saw a new character show up, like Marina Sirtis. A lot of angst. So if you saw episode 1 and 2, there's a lot of dislike for Captain Shaw.
I wonder why.
Really? I don't know if I've mentioned this, but he's my favorite.
He is my favorite too. And this was his first Star Trek convention. It was at the cruise. So he
was on the
virgin.
cruise?
He was on the cruise. He was like the
Oh,
last
wow.
minute invitee.
That's cool. That's pretty
he's like the
neat.
nicest guy. And he's done other movies and shows. I can't remember what, but he did talk about them. And he got to know Frakes, Jonathan Frakes. And I think with that relationship helped him get into Star Trek Picard.
Because this episode of this episode 3, I just think he's so cool. He just takes over this episode whenever he's on screen. I think he's the perfect captain. I would love to see him when Discovery goes bye-bye next season. I'd like to see a Titan show.
And a note about that was a big surprise because like Doug Jones, who was on the ship, I think got noticed like 2 hours before the public got the notification that, the last season's next year. They all got notification on the boat. Like I think a Zoom call or something.
Wow.
Surprise.
I know, surprise.
Don't bother coming
God.
back. I wonder if that's season 5 is finished filming yet.
I don't know.
We'll have to look that up. If you know.
Yeah. I think one of my friends, he is one of the crew members in Canada, and he was saying that they've shot most of it and they're doing post-production stuff now. That's what he was saying.
I might have to watch it. Jeff, what?
Shock.
Yeah. Oh, I bet when you find out you're losing a job when you're out at sea.
Out at sea, yeah. Yeah, it was hard.
Jeff, what did you think of the episode?
Man, the more I start watching it, I thought episode 1 was excellent. 2 was getting me there. And 3, oh man, I still love the Wrath of Khan vibe it's given. So yeah, man, I really digged it. Watch this one twice again.
It's so much action each time.
I've gotten this one.
I'm missing stuff.
I've done this one 3 times. This was a good episode.
Wow.
Yeah, I really like this one, and it seems like this is a Jonathan Frakes directed one. So, I mean, he hits it out of the park whenever he's behind the camera. So, with that being said, let's go into a breakdown and get you guys' thoughts on the actual episode. And just so you know, right now, ladies and gentlemen, we are going into spoilers possibly. If you haven't seen it, now's your chance. So head on down to Quark's Bar if you haven't seen the episode, and let's.
I like that. I like that.
Go dive in.
Alert. That was cool.
It's cool.
Let's go dive in, and so opens up like the last 2 with the really cool Picard logo. And the Trek music, followed by the little, what is it? The little, I guess, the flutes of the Picard series, the little flutes he's got there. And then this one is called 17 Seconds. And you're just wondering why this one was 17 seconds, and did you have any ideas why it might be, or did you think, hey, this has to do with some kind of countdown or a timer? Or
I thought it was like a timer, like, oh my gosh, some bomb is going to go off, but not even close.
I got Fast and Furious vibes from it. I thought about that quarter mile. I thought maybe the 17 seconds might resemble something going on with the ship and how fast it needs to go.
So it starts off with the title card that says before. So last week was 2 weeks earlier, right? 2 weeks earlier. And then this one is just before. So you don't know, I guess it's just before what. And then we see, I guess, what is that? Is that San Francisco? Recognize any of those buildings?
No, it kind of looked like San Francisco. I guess that's where.
No, it looks like we have Avengers Tower over here.
Yeah. Oh, that would be like the what's
wrong franchise?
Salesforce.com tower or something.
Yeah, but that looks like, I guess it could be San Francisco, right? So we hop into the bar.
Was, right?
The bar scene. Love the bar scene.
Yeah, this was really cool, and They're talking to one another, and Picard, I guess, is congratulating Riker on the birth of his son.
Yeah.
And then this is where he says,
and I wonder how they did the CGI to make their faces look younger.
I do like when the de-aging actually does a good job. So Riker's kid's name is Thaddeus. Any idea who Thaddeus is?
No.
Is it Picard's middle name, maybe?
I don't know.
Isn't that Riker's middle name?
Oh, it's Riker's?
Oh.
William T. Riker.
Oh, maybe.
Yeah, where's Debbie when we need our Googler? But I think that might be. Man. Yeah, I think that might be. I think that might be Riker's middle name.
I'm Googling it right now. It is a T, but it's not saying what the T stands for. Oh, William Thomas Riker, it says.
Oh, Thomas, that's right. Right, because he also had that
middle name.
He had the other Thomas Riker from when he had that transporter accident and split in two.
Yeah.
And he was Thomas. So, okay.
So what was Picard's middle name, though?
Did they ever mention was just Jean-Luc? That's all they ever said.
That's his
Jean-Luc.
first name, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't think they've ever mentioned a middle name for.
Oh, there's notes here on the Wikipedia about Thaddeus Troy Riker. It says soldier in the Union Army during the Civil War.
What does he go back in time?
New York Infantry.
Thaddeus Riker.
Thaddeus Riker. Interesting.
So there's a future Thaddeus they're talking about, right?
It appears so when I click on the link here.
Okay.
I don't know how truthful this is, but that's what I have on the Wikipedia, on the Star Trek Wikipedia.
People put anything in there.
Yeah.
His favorite drink, his favorite dessert is Jell-O.
Yeah.
It's like it could just be anything. So Picard says, your son is in capable hands. And then he pulls a joke and says the loving, capable hands. And Riker's like, oh, that's so sweet. And he goes, of his mother. So he actually pulls the carpet out from under him and gives credit to Deanna. So apparently during the birth there was a little issue going on, and he says, "I got a call from sick bay. You better get down here." And he jumps in the turbo lift, and here's the title. It took 17 seconds to get down there, and he says it was the longest 17 seconds of his life to go see his unborn son. And then he tells him, you'd burn the world just to save them, which the first time I heard that, I kind of thought that was going to be something towards the end where Jack is in trouble and Picard's going to just pull out all the stops and, like we're going to ram the what is it? The Shrike?
The Shrike.
Ramming speed and just wipe it out.
Let's kill everybody on board.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
yeah,
Shrike
just
is
burn
such
the
an
world.
awesome ship, though.
So then he's like, I hope one day you have that feeling too. And I guess, I mean, kind of alluding that, we know he's who he is, right? We do know that he finally gets a kid. And we flash to present
It just
day.
seems like Picard doesn't know that he has a kid, right? It just seems like he's oblivious that
Well,
Jack
that was
could be his
before.
kid, right?
Yeah, he doesn't know.
But
He has
now,
no
present day,
idea.
he does know.
It's kind of like
Riker
Jeff.
seems to kind of know.
Do you think Riker knows? Do you think?
It seems like, yeah, because he makes that statement and it's coming up where he goes, "Come on, look at him," or something like that.
That would be something if Crusher was chit-chatty with Deanna and they all kept it a secret.
That'd be funny.
Nobody knew. And everybody knew except for Picard. That would be
Picard, yeah.
That'd be a pretty cool twist.
Don't tell him.
Yeah, keep it quiet. So we flash back to present day. They're in the nebula, and they're hiding from Vadic and the Shrike. And then if there isn't a more, this is the bad guy camera angle than this. I don't know if there ever was one. It's like you saw the camera angle and you're just like, dude, that's the bad guy. Because isn't this the guy that from the first episode where they're walking in the hallway and he kind of gives the side eye to Picard and Riker?
Mm-hmm.
So I knew then that this could have been a bad guy, but now this is like, okay, we know who you are. So they're on watch. They're all looking out the windows because sensors don't work.
Go
which
look
is
out
kind
the
of
window.
cool. Yeah, they're all which is
Go in
I
the
guess
back of the ship.
It's a good reason to have windows, right?
Yep.
And there he is, the greatest captain in Star Trek history.
Star Trek's biggest asshole.
He told a good story about.
Let's hear
about
it.
Him. You want to hear it? Okay. Oh yeah. So he said, now the issue was if you came onto my ship and I acted the way I did, you'd be pissed. But what if two people walked onto the Enterprise D and said, "I need your ship, and we're gonna go to this part of the galaxy and then come back"? Would you believe them? Wouldn't Picard do the same thing?
Yep.
Yeah. And I think that you don't like him because he's getting in the way of our heroes.
Yeah.
So they're looking for
that dinner scene really set the tone.
Yeah.
Of how people were not going to like him.
Right. Yeah, it's a good setup, a good character setup. Good character setup and very well done to make you not like this guy from the beginning.
And Todd was saying, my character is like an onion. You got to keep peeling each of the different layers to get to the true me. So that was kind of cool.
Well, see, the problem I have with the onion analogy on everything is, yeah, you peel back the onion, but it stinks all the way through. So,
oh man,
it's like
it's a stinker.
It's still a stinky onion, even at the core, and it makes you cry. So So they're picking up these like electrical and biological signatures, and they don't get into what this is in this episode. Do you think this is like a living nebula, or is it remember that what episode was that of the Next Gen with the nebula had like the dog face?
Yeah.
I must have missed that one.
I'm thinking
Well,
something.
apparently you missed them all.
Yeah.
Well, I was not a big next gen guy, but I did catch a few here. Well, I'll tell you what, I'm lying to you. I watched the ones where the old cast members came back just to see what it was like. I think
but
Force Kelly was the first one.
Well, that was the pilot episode that DeForest Kelly was in.
Yeah.
Okay, that's probably why I watched it. I still think that thing looks like a jellyfish, but that's just me.
Which, I was thinking it was like McCoy when they went into that nebula, but it was like an amoeba, like a creature.
Right.
Oh, okay.
So that's what I was thinking when this scene came up. As you go deeper.
So it's not really a nebula, but it's more like a living life form that they're in.
Yeah.
Kind of like V'ger, right?
Yeah. And I was intrigued with the character, the science officer, the bald Vulcan, female.
Yeah, it reminded me of her. What, Deltian, right?
Yeah.
Delton? The Delton.
Yeah.
So then we cut to 7 of 9's room, where she is under basically house arrest for insubordination, confined to quarters. And LaForge is relieved of duty to go get some rest, and she kind of makes a what do you call that? A detour. To 7's room to have a little chit chat, and just to say, there are, sometimes people are hard to. It's hard to make friends, but when they do, they're friends for life, and that's why she could understand why 7 of 9 did what she did when she let Picard and Riker take over the ship and take the shuttle out.
Now let me ask you guys this: right before that, she was working on something. Do you know what that was?
Oh, like she was tinkering with something, right? Another device.
Yeah, I was figuring she was trying to break out.
Well, maybe. But I mean, you just open the door, right? And punch the guy.
That would be a 7 thing to do, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why I like her.
So then we go down to sick bay, and Beverly is helping somebody who has some cracked ribs. And, I remember when Trills were kind of cute and nice, but apparently this one's got a little nastiness inside her gut, because she just
little
attitude towards Beverly. And if you're, I don't know, you don't diss Beverly Crusher, because like everybody that says everything about every other, oh, you're a legend. So
what did she
her
say?
son
It's
stood up for her too.
She says something like, I don't have time to teach or get you caught up after 20 years or something like that.
Yeah.
Right. It would take me longer to tell you how it's changed over 20 years than actually do it myself.
Like I was telling a friend of mine, this Star Trek's not your father's Star Trek. This is more in your face Star Trek.
Well, I noticed this doctor is kind of like Robert Picardo's doctor on Voyager, little attitude.
Right.
Right?
So then we have Picard and Riker come down into sick bay, and they confront Beverly.
Man, I can feel the tension over the TV.
Oh yeah, he has that great look. Oh my gosh, the stare, the glance, facial.
That was classic.
expression. Oh, awesome.
I was like, uh-oh.
Someone's getting a whooping.
Well, then she whips him, right? So
She doesn't hold back.
she's like, "You remember our shore leave on Casperia Prime?" And then you just hear, "Bow chicka wow wow,
Yeah.
wow 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 chicka wow wow." So apparently it was a good shore leave.
Where's that
But,
episode?
Yeah, where's that before? I want to see like before, and then they go down to the. They're on the beach. So Picard's like, I didn't know I wouldn't see you again. So
Now you can do her
five
voice.
times. Apparently, 5 times they broke up, and she wanted to tell. And I think this was a great speech that she gave, because she wanted to tell Picard about the kid, and she had reservations because of, like she says, of I wanted him to know who you are. I wanted him to know you, but you could always take care of yourself. But I didn't know if I could, if he retired, Jack would still be the son of Jean-Luc. And I guess it kind of goes back to that whole Spider-Man thing where, he can't be with Mary Jane or have a relationship with anybody because they'll always be the target. Even if Spider-Man isn't Spider-Man anymore, somebody will always want to target their loved ones.
Yeah.
Well, this is a throwback to like Star Trek 2 again, where Dr. Marcus was telling Kirk. Now it's, that's where I got that feeling from. Like, oh, here we go.
I had the
Star
same
Trek
feeling.
2.
That was that whole David thing, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
I didn't want him going off and being like you, but it was a different version, a different take on it.
Right, just a little tweaked a little bit in a different direction, instead of being, she wanted him in her life, whereas Beverly was like, I can't protect him if people know who you are and who he is. I don't know if I can protect him from the people who are after you also. Because she mentions there's always an attempt on his life, and and then she just throws it in his face and says, you always told me you didn't want a family.
Yeah. I think this scene made me start to like Jack a little more.
Yeah.
Right? I just thought, oh my gosh, this is why he's all pissed off. This is why he has the attitude. Because he hasn't seen his dad, which was kind of like David in Wrath of Khan.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
There you go. And John gets his question answered in the scene too.
Yeah, I get a little throwaway line. I still don't buy it. They must have. I think they went in and re-edited it after they watched this show and said, he's right. But let's throw it. Let's re-edit it so he can understand what's happening. So thanks,
Just for
Paramount.
John.
Thanks for fixing it for me.
Yeah.
Because I know that's what happened. I know they watched the 6 people that watched the episode last week. One of them had to have been from Paramount Pictures. Right? So, yeah.
Bill was probably giving them clues on the cruise.
So she's like, he's got a target on your back. And now we cut to the hallway with
I like that look.
That's an awesome smirk. I love that look.
With Riker and Jack having a little chit chat. And this guy does look familiar.
Is this where he explains his where he got the accent? Oh no, that was in the dialogue that was before.
Right. That's coming up. That's coming up in the next batch from Sick Bay.
Oh, I got ahead of myself.
He looks so familiar in this. Oh, I'm thinking he looks like the Mentalist.
Yes.
That's what it is. I think he looks like Patrick Jane from The Mentalist. Yeah, even there he looks like Patrick Jane.
Yeah.
But he says he's not dead. The bigger the legend, the more disappointing the reality. So, I mean, I guess he really doesn't care who Picard is.
But he's aware that's his father. So,
well, I think
something happened that we missed.
Well, it goes back to, do you think that Beverly told everybody?
Well, one ship, I'm pretty sure it's going to get around.
Beverly told Jack that, hey, do you want to go visit your father, Picard? And he didn't want to.
Right.
Oh, that's episode 2, right?
No, that was in this episode, I think.
That was this episode.
I think it was in Sick Bay.
Yeah,
I think it's...
Oh, I saw this twice. Damn.
Yeah, and they go back, now Picard's, kind of, what is it? He's like, all right, I'm not going to win this argument, so let's get back on task and figure out what we're up against. So he asks, what did you mean by trust no one? And when we originally thought of the trust no one, it was kind of like a throwback to that episode that we were all talking about the first time, the conspiracy.
Mm-hmm. Trust no one.
So he's now upset that he's placed this crew in unnecessary danger. And he's like, they go outside and it's like, we can't, the relationship won't be fixed because Beverly says that, I told him that I wanted, you could go meet him, and Jack was like, no, and had no interest in meeting Picard. So then we cut back outside, and the Shrike has once again found, and everybody's like, how the hell did she find us?
Yeah.
And it turns out that the Titan is right where it should be. Now, I thought this was kind of a nod to, I don't know, maybe seeing something from the future, but apparently it's just a signature. It's kind of like what Uhura did in Star Trek 6. You know, the thing's got to have a tailpipe. So, they launch an attack, and Shaw goes down, and he's got a gash in his forehead, and he's spitting up blood. So he's like, "You're gonna get us out of this," and he's transfer command to Riker, which I thought was pretty neat. Gives Riker full command.
I've never seen that done in any other Star Trek episode, where you transfer command at the
in
moment
the middle
of
of battle.
Yeah, first time I think.
Right, because usually it would fall down. It would fall back on the first officer, but she's locked up for insubordination, and he is a captain. So I don't know if it instead of it going down to the first officer, kind of jumps sideways to the next available. Because those in Wrath of Khan, Spock says, if we are just on a training cruise, then I am supposed to
take command.
Command the starship. But if we are going to go on an actual mission, you being the ranking officer takes command, and that's how it got to Admiral Kirk in Star Trek II. He transferred command from him to Admiral Kirk. And I guess because first officer is incapacitated, it's now falls to Riker.
Besides, he's not going to give it to Picard anyway.
But you know what? Couldn't Picard, as Admiral, have executed his right to take command of the ship?
That's what I was thinking, but then maybe he has to give that command? Because he's in sound mind. If he's in sound mind, because I thought that had something to play with it too, right?
Yeah. Oh, maybe because he's retired. He's not active.
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah, he's not active. He's retired. He's not a, on duty admiral.
Yeah.
So this was a pretty cool maneuver here. They fire a single torpedo and then blow up the torpedo with a phaser, and apparently makes some kind of concussion that blows everything. That blows everything. Some like a concussion grenade.
Yeah, distraction.
Which was pretty neat.
And it's executed by Picard.
Yeah,
he doesn't even wait for Riker to, tell us what it's actually going to do. He just says, "Let's do it." He's like, "Okay, when I say fire the torpedo, he's like, it's already out there. We just fired it." So,
which is
there's our fact checker.
Okay. There,
am I late?
Just, ladies and gentlemen, beaming aboard the ship, we have Debbie. Welcome aboard.
What were you doing? Watching The Mandalorian?
No, I watched that 3 times already. No, our power went out like twice, and then I was trying to get my computer up, and then it decided it wanted to do an update, and then my camera wasn't working, so I apologize.
Let me guess. Do you have a Windows computer?
Yes, I do.
Wow, surprising that it decides to take over your life, isn't it? After last week,
a red shirt.
Oh no!
Star Trek review.
Yeah.
Oh no! So after last week and the problems I had, I wiped this sucker clean. I did a fresh install, and I can't even control the mouse now. It is so fast. It is unbelievable. I need a new pair of glasses just to see the mouse going back and forth on the screen. It's so fast. So, Deb, we are up to the first battle sequence where Riker shoots the photon torpedo and then follows it up with a phaser. He's just assumed command from Shaw after Shaw got his head knocked open. So, quick review. What did you think of the episode?
I liked it. It went in a direction I wasn't expecting because we had our theories last week, and that turned out to be Podu. So
Wrong franchise.
It was a nice surprise. I'm not mad about it. I'm just, I was pretty sure we were going in the right direction, and then, we got blasted by photon torpedoes. So
yeah. So Picard wants to be called number 1, and then we cut back to she's taking a nap after being rescued. What's her name again?
Rocky.
What is
She's
it?
coming down, man. She's coming down off that eye stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In the eye.
Yeah.
Did they have that on a cruise? I'm sure if you stopped off somewhere in Mexico, you could probably get some of that stuff, right?
Probably. But I bet you someone's going to cosplay it. I just know it.
Yeah. Or walk around with a Frankie head.
Yeah.
Worf was brutal. I was like, he's a little Frankie, man.
So she wakes up and she's hearing this familiar music, which is the music Picard listened to in First Contact, which was I thought was a pretty neat callback.
Yeah. Nice
When
Easter
Riker
egg.
walks in on him. So he's practicing with I guess it wasn't a batleth, right? It was just some kind of Klingon sword.
It is another
No, it's a
sword.
man.
It has a name.
What's his name, Bill?
I don't know.
It's
Let me go
his
Google it. Let me go Google it.
That's Debbie's
Frida.
job.
It's called Frida.
Frida.
Yeah, Worf names all his knives and stuff. So she tries to sneak up on him, and he throws the knife down at her toes.
Wait a minute. Debbie's getting attacked.
That's my cat Chewy, who I don't know what her deal is, but the last couple of shows I've been on, she has decided to jump up on my shoulder and try and be a parrot, but her claws hurt.
I just saw something attack you. I'm like, oh crap.
No, it's Chewy, little Chewbacca.
Oh, I found it. It's a new Klingon sword, which is called the Kurleth. Kur'Leth.
And is there a purpose for that?
Killing people, chopping off
Yeah.
Ferengi heads.
Mm-hmm.
Now he's
That's what
dancing
it's-
with it.
He's kind of doing the Cobra Kai
Yeah.
wax on, wax off thing. Yeah.
He's looking really good. I'm like, oh my gosh, Worf looks so thin now.
Yeah, Worf is buff.
Yeah.
I hope he gets a show out of this. I would love to see a Worf show.
There was rumors a few years back that he was going to have his own show. And of course, that never turned out to be anything.
Which I heard that the Worf character, as we see right now, was the Worf character he wanted in his show.
Really?
A calmer, more a calmer Klingon. So
He's more of a pacifist now.
yeah, so they
Nah, he
integrated a
killed a
lot of his
Ferengi.
ideas from that idea of the Worf captain into this character here in Picard. That's what I've heard.
Well, I heard also that he was talking about his makeup being a pain in the butt. So I wondered over the years, did that get taken care of? It's a little more easier to apply.
Well, imagine being a Klingon from Discovery, where, oh my gosh, your whole face is covered in makeup and you got rings all over the place.
Yeah, let's not say we did.
Yeah.
We have one more season and that's over.
Yeah, I know the cosplay community is talking about Worf and his ears. They're saying, is this the first time we've seen Worf's ears?
Really?
Yeah, that's the conversation.
Huh.
I can't watch the show now. I cannot watch this. If I see Worf's ears, I'm not watching it anymore.
Humanity.
Yes.
Worf's ears.
That's why he's got long hair now.
I don't know if I was able to rapid fire my screen caps quick enough, but Worf has the longest title, I think, out of anybody in the history of television, because he is Worf, son of Moog, House of Martok, son of Sergei, House of Roshenko, Bane to the Duras family, Slayer of Galron, an all-around nice guy working on myself.
How cool is that? That's so cool.
That was pretty funny.
So, that was like 3 pages in the script right there.
I love it. That is so cool.
So he's actually not working for Starfleet. He's actually a subcontractor.
Yeah.
So,
Klingon for hire.
He's in the WAN ads right next to Jim Rockford.
Yeah.
Oh man, now I got the theme going. If I have Worf doing
He lives on the beach in an RV.
Yeah.
Very, 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 very comfortable.
And you see him dancing on the beach with a sword.
Yeah. And then, it ends with like his communicator chirping, and it says something like, Worf, this is Betty down at the bank. The last 3 checks cleared. What do you want us to do with them? Should I send it back or just put them in the drawer with the rest? So, and he tells her that she's got a heart of a warrior. And then there's a great line coming up, and I wish I had gotten the clip from the internet today. I didn't have time to, but he tells her, "We're partners," and I immediately, whenever I hear that, I immediately flash back to the Road Warrior. Do you remember that part in the Road Warrior?
Was it which
where
one?
the Road Warrior, the
Mad Max
second movie, Mad Max 2,
Mad Max.
The Road Warrior, where he drops the guy off and drives away in the tanker, and the guy's trying to get his handcuffs, and he's like, "We're partners." So we cut back to the Titan.
Oh man!
And Picard is like, "So we're just going on defense? What is that?" Because Riker wants to just fly around and try and last as long as possible.
Which is so un-Picard, right? I've never seen Picard immediately go to the offensive. He's got to negotiate. Right. He's got to do all these other stuff, but attack is never his first instinct. I'm like, wow.
Well, I think
wait a minute. He's not in control of that ship. That's the reason why it's not on him.
Well, I think that goes back to the conversation that he had with Riker in the bar, where Riker says, "You will burn the world to protect your child." And this is what he needs to do now, is he needs to get Jack safely, away. That's all he cares about, is getting everybody on that ship out of danger. And the only way he knows how, I guess, is to fight. So Riker says, this isn't the Enterprise, which I guess could probably, do you think the Enterprise could take a beating from the Shrike?
It's a Galaxy class ship. What ship class is this one?
I think
it's is it a Constitution class?
Let's Google it.
Because it has that Constitution shape.
So Galaxy class supposed to be bigger, right?
Much bigger.
And that's what
called the Luna class
was. The Luna
class? It's a Luna class science destroyer and variant.
Oh, for Titan?
For Titan.
Okay. Titan. There you go.
So it's definitely not the Enterprise.
Yep.
So then we go down to sick bay, and there's my boy on the table, bleeding out, or bleeding in, I guess. Yep, bleeding internally. So, and then once again, the Trill is being a pain in the ass. And I would have just shoved her out of the way if I was Beverly. Just get out of here. You don't know what you're doing.
Yeah, that doctor was rude from the very beginning.
Right.
I don't have time to teach you 20 years worth of technology. Me.
See, it's like if Nurse Chapel would turn on Bones.
Yeah. That wouldn't last very long. I don't think Bones would put up with that.
So Shaw on his is rolled over on his side, and he sees Jack, and he's like, "How does she keep finding us?" And then they look down, and there you have it, blood trail.
Jack figures it out.
He figures it out. And then once again, they're reading electrical and biological signatures from inside the cloud that they're in. And we just don't know what that is yet. Do you think, Debbie, this is some kind of life form?
I mean, I have my theories, but so far that hasn't turned out. But have we talked about who the bad is now?
No, well, we've kind of talked about it by the camera angle, because what we had you looked at it, and when a guy's looking at the camera like this, you kind of know that he's the bad guy.
And you got like 2 or 3 seconds of screen time, like, oh, he's somebody.
But you don't know what he is yet.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, I don't know if it has anything to do with them. Possibly.
So you can't go straight through this thing because the gravity on the inside is heavy. So it'll probably crush them.
Was that the gravity well scene?
Yes.
Yeah.
So they're going to try and make a run for the door and get out of that, and then go to warp.
Oh, you know that last scene? I'm like, in the original series, the security guard would be inside the bridge. Here, you see the security guard outside the bridge.
Yeah. I thought about that too. I was like, okay,
This makes more sense. Don't let anybody in, so you stand on the outside. If you stand on the inside, the door opens and there's the bad guy.
And there could be a whole bunch of them out there.
Yeah.
Well, that's why they're getting clobbered.
So they're running for the door, and they're going to set course for the nearest starbase. And she's like, ready the device.
Do it like Austin Powers.
So they fire the weapon, and they're making a right-hand turn, and they shoot the weapon, and it opens up, and poof, they're back to where they started from, which I thought was pretty neat.
What you call it?
I was thinking about Debbie when we were talking about the portal from the first episode. Like, where does it go? I wonder if that was the same thing.
Goes wherever they tell it to go.
Yeah, I don't know if they can
So
like set up coordinates for where you enter and where you end up. I don't know. I don't know how that would work, but
yeah, I don't think it's like the a Doctor Strange tunnel. I think it's more like you have to be able to see where you want the receiver to go. You just
Kinda
can't.
like
What happens
always
if
have
you
to have a
materialize
beginning
in the
and end,
middle of a sun?
Every
It's kinda
time I
like
see that happen, it's like something from the X-Men. It was one of the X-Men had that power where they would open up a portal and another portal opens up.
Who was that? Was that that was the girl, right?
The girl, yeah.
the blue chick.
No, what's her name? The one that can
Blink.
run through
Was that
walls.
Blink?
Who?
Storm or no, not Storm.
I was thinking about that. That's her name. I just remember her being blue.
But no, this is kind of like who was the blue guy from the circus? They said, why don't you just pop in there and grab him and pop out? And he's like, well, I need to be able to see where I'm popping in and out of, basically. So I think that kind of works. The guy with the tail, yeah. So we go back down to the disco planet where it's like Blade Runner and loud music all the time. It's like I couldn't live there because it's just like so loud that it's all you hear is
Hey, that's nightlife,
That's
right?
wrong.
Nightlife.
yeah, it's
He
the
likes
nightlife.
boogie. I got that song stuck in my head. Thanks, Donna Summer.
So apparently this is not a warrior's outfit. This is what you wear on a Friday night on Mtalis to go hang out at the local clubs if you're a Klingon.
Or to lounge
Yeah,
around on your
casual wear.
couch.
Yes, this is his Netflix and chill outfit.
Yeah.
So they're looking for this guy, and I forget what his name was. Not T'Challa.
Titus. Talus. Starts with a T.
Yeah. And he's like, because she makes a joke that is that the outfit you wear to beheadings every Tuesday? And he's like, no, this is casual. And then after they chase down the guy and grab him, he's like, beheadings are on Wednesdays.
Yeah, that was funny.
That was cool.
So we go back to space, and then we have the Shrike is keeping up, pushing them deeper and deeper, and Jack goes in, and he goes to hang out with Seven of Nine and find out, he's figured out how they're following, and he tells her about the what was the name of the group that she was with, the Finnis Rangers, and something called the blood in the water theory. So they're leaking Deuterium, which is another new thing that I've never heard of in Star Trek. And apparently it insulates the warp coils.
And it's poisonous.
It's poisonous. And the mentalist is like, yes, that's it. So they have a leak, and there's a saboteur on board. So they run down and pick up their N97s and go into the warp core, I guess. Is this I guess that would be the warp core if it's
maybe a warp core control center.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, but you missed the scene where he knocks out that guard. Like, gives a really good right hook.
It was a left hook.
I was like, yeah, let's fight.
That's one punch Jack, they call him.
Yeah.
So Jack and Bane here are discovered that that the whole room is full of this stuff, and the computer has been shut off, and they can't detect the leak. So they figured out it's a phaser blast from close range, and the gas is escaping. So they shut it off, and she goes in. She goes in deeper to check. Now I don't know why did he stay behind. She went in deeper to go check for more leaks, but he was just hanging out in that room, right?
Yeah.
He didn't follow.
He's protecting the leak.
Did she say stay here? I'll go check the other room.
Yeah. So they phone a friend, and Picard picks up, and they tell her there's a leak, and we're leaking vertilium or viridium or some V word, and they've shut it off and cleared it out, and now this leak gives them an advantage in order to get a step ahead of the Shrike. And then we get, once again, the I'm the bad guy camera angle with the look. And Jack punches him with a right hook, and he just turns to jello and shakes it off. And then as soon as that happens, you're like, okay, I know who these guys are.
I was like going, what? The whole theater watching this was like, oh my god!
Yeah, did the ship?
I thought
Did the ship freak out when they saw that?
The audience was freaking out when they saw that punch.
See, I thought he was a changeling at first.
He is a changeling.
He is a changeling.
Okay. But he changes to something I've never seen, though. Like, I never seen him go that way.
He should have
like
more veins or something. Going.
Yeah. Because I remember, was it Deep Space Nine that had a changeling on board?
That was Odo.
Odo, yeah.
Yeah. The guy was on Benson. That's right. Okay.
Yeah.
So you have the changeling on actually all of them, right? From Deep Space Nine, they were kind of like skin-colored hockey masks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whereas now they're actual people. You can actually.
Well, evidently they've evolved, or they've.
Is this a different faction?
Well, that's
there
what
good
Worf
guys
says.
and bad guys.
That's what Worf says.
Because he also says that he got a message from someone he trusts, an honorable man. And
We all
you
know
think
what he's talking about.
think he's talking Odo?
Mm-hmm.
No.
Wouldn't that be cool? You have some Deep Space Nine people in Picard. That'd be kind of cool.
True.
So Rafi thinks this guy's going through withdrawal, and he actually is, kind of. But there's a cool line Worf has where he says, now I didn't get this. What is he seeing
That's a changeling
with the
guy,
veins? Right? No, this is Jack.
Yeah, this
looking
is Jack
up
while he's
at 7.
Yeah, but isn't that changeling turned to 7, maybe? That's what I thought. It's like giving disappearance.
This is 7, right?
Yeah, but that's a different 7. If you look at closely, it's like a different version of her. That's why I thought it was a changeling, especially because the veins in the background. He's like creating something in his mind or something. I don't know.
So do you think if this 7 is, because he didn't die, right?
Not yet.
No.
Did he?
No, not
did
yet.
he run out? Did he run out of the?
He takes them to sick bay.
Yeah. This
But do you
person,
think-
who I think takes him to sick bay.
But is this 7 or is this a changeling version of 7, like Jeff says?
I don't know, because I really didn't pay attention to the clothing. I just assumed he was hallucinating or something. That was my take on it.
Oh, for the gas?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's 7 or the changeling taking him to sick bay.
But if it
But
was
is it a-
changeling, why wouldn't she just let him die? Well, I guess they need him alive for some bizarre reason. Which
Well, remember,
I've
he's
yet to
worth
figure
something
that
to
out.
somebody.
Because he, in the second episode or the first episode, we were like, we know they want you alive.
Yep.
So is this a ploy to, is this a changeling that's taking him to sick bay? She calls Picard, and now Picard is going to come down, and they're going to get both of them together.
That's what I was thinking.
And then later on, you find out that 7 is still in the warp core, and because of the leak, she couldn't get a signal out or something.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe. Episode 4.
Or are we just thinking too deep into this?
I don't know, Debbie, what your notes have.
Yeah, I don't have any theories like that. I just assumed he was hallucinating and that's the real 7. And
But why would they put the veins, the roots?
That's what I'm saying.
I don't
That's
know.
that giveaway.
We'll find out next week, people.
Next on Who's Your Daddy?
So Jack is dying. Picard's on his way down.
Oh, and this is Picard's 17 seconds.
This is his 17 seconds.
He makes it in 16 seconds, so. It's got out through Riker.
So you kind of know that he's not going to die. 3rd episode in.
Nah.
I don't know.
So then we cut back.
That was kind of cool technology. She just put like a little thing on his chest and just defibrillated from.
And she was like moving up and down, right?
Yeah.
Like,
I can see that happening in real life, like a iPhone. All of a sudden, you're like, boop 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 boop.
Dween technology's come a long way.
Yeah.
So Rafi is questioning this guy, and she thinks it's withdrawal. And she's like, "Who are you working for? It's not the Romulans. Who did you get this weapon for?" And he's like, "There are many enemies of the Federation." And she looks at Worf, and they're like, "Wait a second. Did they steal something else? Was this a ruse so they could go steal something else?" And what else? Now, could this be the thing that's in there in the back that has the power surge, or is that the circle weapon?
I thought
Is this where
the thing
Worf
in the back of the
says
ship was causing
they
that
knew exactly
circle.
where to hit us?
I'm sorry,
So-
no, what?
Is this the scene where Worf goes, they knew exactly where to hit us? Because when I heard that, I'm like, oh my God, that's Wrath of Khan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they apparently Rafi thinks they've also taken something else from Daystrom Institute. And this trans warp circle Doctor Strange thing was just a mislead for what they really wanted. And you know what? For the amount of time that this show has been on, it's only been 3 episodes, and we're only 3 hours. We're only 3 hours in, and so much has happened in those 3 episodes that you kind of expect, okay, how are they going to wrap this up? But we have 7 more to go. It's like, what else can they throw at us?
There's only 10 episodes?
Yeah.
I thought it was like 13.
I think there's 10.
I thought it was 10, but I could be wrong.
I thought there was 13 for some reason. I don't know.
So Worf looks at the guy and he's like, "Tell me, how long have you been away from the Great Link?" And what did you guys think when you heard that line?
Deep Space Nine.
Deep Space
The
Nine.
Dominion.
I was thinking
his
for some
name
reason
was
Borg.
Titus Ricca,
Yes.
the changeling's name. That's
Mhm.
Oh,
that's his
But
name.
I mean, you know the link, the Great Link was from Deep Space Nine. But what I mean was it another one of those, I call them oh wow moments, where you see something and you're just like, oh wow, because that's what I got. I it's, to me, this was one of the oh wow moments.
People were yelling out in the boat like shapeshifter, Dominion Wars. They're going crazy with that.
Right. And then they mentioned those two.
Mhm. Oh, did you
So
notice
Picard-
when Worf killed the changeling, he was using a Picard era phaser.
Yeah,
I'm like, oh my god, it's a TNG phaser.
I saw that. I thought it was, but I wasn't 100%.
So they're going to they need to protect the ship, and I don't know. Riker like takes this as a slap in the face,
Oh yeah.
and he tells. Is this where he tells? He tells him to sit down and be quiet. Just sit over there. Get in the corner. So he puts baby in the corner. And tells him, "I'm the captain of the ship." And then, meanwhile, this guy is going into full meltdown.
Literally.
So he needs to get back into liquid form and join the link. And he's spouting a lot of hate, too much hate. So she grabs him by the face, which after a second or two he doesn't have anymore, and he just turns into a puddle of goo. And
Here's your bucket.
He goes and melts the dude, disintegrates him, turns him into.
Yeah, see, that's a Picard era from Nemesis phaser.
Yeah.
Is that a Nemesis phaser, or is that a? Because I have
I
one
think it's
that
Nemesis.
I think it's a next gen.
It's the next gen, but I think that was specifically in Nemesis. I was like, oh,
Yeah,
was
the other one's more
Yeah.
rectangle, right?
Yeah, a little more rectangle. This one, I was like, oh, this is Nemesis.
So he's melted, and Jack is back, and J. Nicholas Ramos, we have a new subscriber. Welcome to the program. Glad you're here.
Yay.
So he says his face moved. And then everybody goes, "Uh-oh, we know what that means." And so now they let it leak that this dude is a changeling. Now, is this the look of guilt, or is this the look of, I got to go find that guy?
Ooh, good one.
What do you think? Do you think this is the changeling and he grabbed?
So I see that theory because she has that same kind of bland expression, like the bad guy look.
The side eye.
Yeah.
She's giving the side eye like he did.
Yeah.
So
I found out.
After my fails at the last two episodes of theories, I'm not even gonna say that. I'm just gonna say, okay, I don't know if this is actually the changeling or if this is actually Seven, but I think it would be pretty cool if this was the changeling, and
I think it is.
he needed, because they need Jack alive. So what better way to keep Jack alive than to take him to sick bay
And keep an eye on him. Yeah.
and keep an eye on him? Yeah.
I like that theory. That's a good one.
Oh, but then he's here, right? Setting off with the bomb. So there goes that theory. One frame later, there goes that theory. Because that's him right there. Never mind. That was the quickest theory shot down ever.
You never know in Star Trek, man.
It lasted 15 seconds. So he sets up this bomb in, I don't know. This looks like air conditioning. That's inside. It's what?
I said it looks like some kind of conduits of some sort.
Yeah. That's and it looks like it's surrounded by safety deposit boxes.
Yeah.
So Worf is like, we can't really say that it's the changelings, because if it does, then we could be back to the Dominion War. And that would be reigniting it, which would not be a good thing. But there might be another attack somewhere. And then it's something with the real weapon that they stole from Daystrom. And Worf is like, it may be our only hope for answers. We got to get over there. And this is where he says, you and I, Rafaela, are now partners. So they're partners. We go back to space. Things are blowing up all over the place. And they had an explosion. That bomb went off right after Seven says, we have a changeling on board. And I guess that was a power conduit. Very good, Deb. Some sort of conduit.
I got something right.
You got it right. Hold on. This is for you.
Appreciate it.
So we're 1 for 7 this
That's your designation. 1 of 7.
1 of 7. So Picard's like, we got to turn the ship around and we need to fight. And
and it goes black.
trying to download.
Uh-oh.
And they find out that she's already turned around, headed straight for them. But they're actually snuck up behind, right? They snuck up behind her. And they just fire missile, torpedoes away. And if you didn't see this coming,
Yeah.
I mean, this is like the old Roadrunner thing, right? Where Bugs Bunny takes the
Hawaiian
the
Coyote.
Roadrunner. Yeah, the coyote drops down the anvil, and Bugs Bunny takes a manhole and throws it over there, and then the anvil comes down and hits the coyote. So
Don't forget the sign.
he opens
Yikes.
up yeah, he's just holding up. So then it shoots up and then pops up behind them, and she's got 3 coming up their rear, and takes out the Titan. Everybody's shaking. And Picard gets, I mean, he's just thrown off the bridge, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Riker just, and I've never seen Riker talk to Picard this way at all, which is a cool kind of, it's a pretty neat little change in Riker, which makes me want to see what Riker, like the years before this, after Next Gen and before this, I would like to see his journey to what made him this type of captain, because he really wasn't like this when he was a first officer, right? He was kind of like the ladies' man and stepping over the chairs and sitting down and when
it grew the beard, you got a swagger on, man.
Well, the beard came in what, season 2, right?
2, yep.
Because everybody, they were like, he's too much like Kirk, so they gave him a beard.
He got a little more swagger. He got the beard and a little more attitude, I thought.
See, beards and goatees are cool again.
Yeah, there we go.
And he's like, remove yourself from the bridge. You've just got us all killed. And then that's it. He walks off.
Yeah, taking my ball and going home.
And they're just falling now deeper and deeper and deeper into the gravity well. And
thank you, CBS.
And that's it.
So much drama in number 4.
This was a good one.
Seen 4?
Oh no, this is 4, isn't it?
This is 3.
This is 3.
Okay. So
you've seen 4, haven't you?
Sorry. No, I have not.
No, you've seen 4, haven't you?
I have not.
And
man, you're holding out.
I mean, it's like what I said was this for 3 episodes. There is so much in here that makes it feel like, okay, I'm on episode 15 of 26. It's like, how much can you put into one episode? This was 55 minutes.
Yeah.
Yep.
55 minutes. That's twice what The Mandalorian was this week.
Well, The Mandalorian was like 35 minutes. I got what? It went by too quick.
With all the credits. and the languages and this was 55 minutes long, twice Mandalorian. Yeah. And it's just so full, and I imagine what they could have done if this guy was in charge of season 1 and 2.
Yeah.
Paramount's probably like,
I have to watch it twice because there's so much going on,
Yeah,
right.
It's starting to feel like Lower Decks. Have you guys seen Lower Decks?
No.
I watched one episode.
There
I just
are
couldn't get into it.
So many Easter eggs in one Lower Decks episode, and they have kept doing that for all the Lower Decks. I got to catch up on it on the cruise because they had the channel to keep going. And I'm like, oh my gosh, he must have written the same stuff for Picard. So many Easter eggs, just like Lower Decks. You got to catch one episode.
It's just amazing how much detail and story arc. Everybody has an arc in this. It's not like I heard somebody saying something about I think it was the first season of Discovery where there's when you find out one of the guys is from the mirror universe, he's got to take these drops because his eyes. There's something about this. Yeah. What was that?
Loris. Jason.
Is that?
Yeah.
Something happens where your eyes dry out or something.
Captain
you have to take these drops.
Lorca.
Yeah, Captain Lorca, who was the guy from Harry Potter.
Malfoy. Malfoy.
Yeah, Malfoy. Yeah.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Long blonde hair.
But then when who was the chick on the first captain that died? That was on the planet, the Asian.
Oh,
Michelle Yeoh.
Captain Giorgio. Michelle
right,
Yeoh.
Michelle Yeoh. Yeah, but when her mirror universe character was here, she didn't have to do the drops. So it's like they forgot what they had set up, because it was something that you couldn't you couldn't really keep doing, because if you show her doing the drops, that gives away, what it is, where she's from. Yeah. And I guess you could say, well, we just never showed it. She did it, but you didn't know, because she always did it, when she was in the shower or whatever. I don't know. But yeah, but this show is like,
which show are you watching?
Apparently I haven't watched any of them until this one. I'm going to go back and try and watch Strange New Worlds again.
That's really good.
I love that one.
I didn't get past, I think, the third episode. I just have an issue with the way actors who are Vulcan or not Vulcan per se, but they're trying to do Spock. I don't think anybody is doing. There's not one person who is doing Spock right.
You didn't like the new Spock with J.J. Abrams? I thought he did pretty good.
No, because
Leonard Nimoy said he was really good.
Oh, Ethan Peck.
Yeah.
If you watch Spock from the movies and from the TV show, he's more conversational. He is not a monotone robot, which
that's
I think
Spock. Yeah, I remember.
I think that everybody else is trying to be is a monotone Vulcan. But you got to remember, when you're doing Spock, you're also doing half human. Yeah. So, there is more inflection in Spock's voice than, say, a normal Vulcan. Now, the chick from Enterprise, she was that monotone Vulcan because she was full Vulcan, right?
Yeah.
So,
yeah,
I don't know. It's just something that I noticed about actors.
Debbie's getting attacked.
She was trying to jump on my shoulder again. But she slid on the paper and knocked everything off. So,
all right. So let's do a quick round. Out of 10, Jeff, what do you give this episode out of 10?
30.
Okay. Next, Bill, what do you give this episode out of 10?
10 plus.
Oh boy. Can you guys follow instructions?
No, we're not supposed to.
Deb, what do you give this episode?
Kirk didn't follow instructions at all when he was doing the Kobayashi Maru. So why should we?
Well, you need to be eating an apple if you're going to do that.
Yes. I give it a 9, just because I'm so confused as to what the hell's going on. And I haven't figured it out yet. That's
well, we had it figured out for about 10, 15 seconds there. But now we lost all that. So there are people out there that are smarter than us, apparently. So
will you rate it, John, out of your 10?
I'd give this a 7. So this is a good 7 or 8 out of 10. Yeah. It's a decent episode, very good, very actiony. I'm curious to see how so far. I mean, the series is an 8. It's an 8 out of 10.
Yeah.
I mean, there's so many other characters that haven't come on board from the initial trailer yet.
Mm-hmm. And that's what I mean. We still have, there's 7 original crew members, right? And we only have 3 of them. 4.
Who do you think is the last one's going to show up? Who do you think of all the next generation, who's the last to show up?
Well, we know we've seen in the trailer Geordi LaForge.
Mm-hmm.
We saw Brent Spiner as Lore, I think, in the trailer.
Lore or before.
Oh, yeah.
Before.
And Moriarty,
yeah.
with the changelings, or the hell's going on?
I know the world is so changed.
Yeah, it's this is so, you know, just jam-packed with, it's just, I just find it amazing how much stuff they have in here, and it's very, very enjoyable. I'm kind of glad they're not doing the binge model for this one. Usually I can, if they do the binge model, then I'll be like, okay, I can watch all this over a weekend.
I do remember one tidbit, a spoiler, that in one of the panels, Todd.
Hold on.
Spoiler.
Okay.
So Todd Stanwich and Marina Sirtis were bantering together, saying, "Oh, we have an awesome scene coming up." I'm like, "Oh my god, the two of them are going to have a scene."
Really?
Who was it?
Todd. So Todd is Captain Shaw.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
And then Marina Sirtis, she only came in on that little video clip in the beginning with the whiskey, but they were on stage just chatting, and like, "Have we worked together yet?" And he goes, "Yeah, we have that scene coming."
Episode 4.
Oh, and she was very adamant that, "Oh my gosh, I can't believe I am taking care of the kids. Why can't I be the one running the shift?"
She was kind of nasty.
Yeah.
In the, I can't tell
yet.
I can't tell if it was a joke, if she was just joking, or if she was just or if she was like really annoyed, because it sounds like they're having issues.
Marital issues. Yeah, I think they have
at home, yeah.
Yeah.
So, well, I guess we'll see where this
And
goes.
she needs whiskey, so
This might transfer over to a lawyer show after the season where Deanna and Riker are getting a divorce, and they have to split up ownership of the kids, and so. And what do you think happened
Boston Legal.
to
Shatner will
Yeah.
come in.
Yeah. And then you have you have Bill come in, and he's so. All right, guys. Well, thank you. Thanks for watching. We appreciate your time. Thanks, you guys, for joining. Thanks, Jeff, Bill, and Debbie. Thanks for coming in, spending some time with us again. We will see you hopefully next week. Actually,
you want to do a
I'm
picture
gonna have
again,
to.
Bill?
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to take next week off. So, Jeff, the show is up to you, because my grandson is coming to town, and we rented a cabin where there's absolutely no service. So I will not be here next week. So
John?
Jeff's gonna go out in the backyard and send up smoke signals, and you'll have to watch the show that way.
Oh, you gotta say, number one, you're in charge.
Number
Take
one,
command.
you have the bridge. You have
Don't
the bridge.
call me number 1.
All right, number 2, yeah.
Well, we might. Hey, who you work for?
All right, guys. Thank you. Appreciate it. Thanks for sticking with us. We appreciate your time and your subscription to the channel. We hit 1,500 today, and then that last one that just probably 1,501 right now. So hopefully within the next maybe by next Friday we'll have 1,701 subscribers, which would be really cool. I'm gonna snap a picture of that and post it if it ever gets that high. But within the last week, I think we've gained 200 subscribers. So we really appreciate every moment you give us, and we will see you next time. Jeff, what do you got coming up on the Collector Zone?
Oh, so my image for my ultimate video game is finally done. I'll be shooting a video of it this weekend, and I'll put it on the channel next week. I'm really happy with it. It came out really good.
Deb, how'd the Star Wars show go last night?
Really well. Of course, we had to talk about 2 shows. We had to talk about Bad Batch and then Mandalorian, but both episodes were really good. I mean, Bad Batch can be 50-50. You just, toss a coin and hope for the best. But but yeah, this week both Mando and Bad Batch were pretty good episodes. Lots of callbacks to other shows and whatnot. So yeah, it was really good.
What do you have coming up Monday on MCU Monday?
Nothing. So yeah,
same like last time.
I texted Chris and he said we weren't going to do anything Monday. So yeah, it's just depending on what they talk about on Really Good Podcasts on Wednesday, I might be on there depending on what they talk about, but definitely it'll be on Cantina Happy Hour on Thursday. So
all right, we'll check you out then. Bill, what do you got coming up other than taking all your pictures from the cruise and filling the internet? Because I think the internet is going to get filled. No more space. The internet is out of space when
it's going to blow up. I'm going to send you all the videos and podcasts that I did, and you can do whatever you want with it.
Okay, cool. I was gonna ask you if I could put them up on the channel so people can see them, and I appreciate that.
I didn't edit it, so it'll be up to you to edit whatever you want to do.
Okay, that's what I do on lunch.
We have like a Ferengi in the headlock or something.
I went to the Star Trek Picard Museum and took photos of everything, a video of everything that was in Star Trek Picard in the museum.
Nice,
very cool.
That was a fun one.
You got anything? You got anything coming up? Oh, you're taking an acting break, right?
Taking a little break, but I think 3 awards just came in for my movie Alien Danger with Raven Van Slender, so I'm gonna go open up the boxes.
Oh,
I saw that.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Record that, man. And do an unboxing video.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and record it and send it to me, and we'll do an unboxing video for you.
Sounds good.
And if you have do you have a professional Facebook page or just your personal?
Just the personal yet. I'm working.
All right.
It's too much stuff to do.
Right. All right. We won't give that away then. Anything Bill wants to show you guys out there in YouTube land, he'll send to me and we'll upload it, and then we'll get him a professional page.
Yeah, I think next time I'll videotape from my Star Trek room. Have I done that with you guys yet?
No.
Yeah, I have a Star Trek room.
I think the first time we talked to you, when we talked, that was from the Trek room.
Yeah.
So, all right. Well, thanks, guys. We appreciate it. We will see you next week. Jeff will be lost in space and figuring out why he can't do certain things. It's going to be a crash course in training on Streaming 101. And until then, thank you very much. Have a great night and live long and prosper. And Jeff, we will see you
on the next one. Layers.